So I was making this sandwich this morning, and I realized, you know, I never really talk a whole lot about productivity. I think it's a problem. I don't think a lot of people really express it very much. I think especially the people that try to work really hard on like really passionate projects, like they try to stay up all night, and I think some of my experience with that. I know when I was doing cryptocurrency mining and trading, um, I was, probably staying up pretty late doing that just because the way the markets work. You could trade at like 2 a.m. where people in like Singapore were waking up or China, and you'd have a lot of really good volatility and a lot of good opportunities for gains. But that's kind of faded away now. And I feel like you get a lot more productivity in like creative work and just standard stuff done on a much more disciplined schedule, and that's what I kind of want to walk through today because I don't see a whole lot of people talk about it. Um, and that is getting the most from the 24 hours every day. Um, so okay, let's get right into like Jack's top three things to do and get done. So I'd say like number one is to just however much time you want to sleep, figure out what the number is. So for me, it's like 8 hours. I like any of the 8 hours of sleep. So figure out your number and then pick a bedtime. I go to bed at 8, and that's a hard 8. Whatever the is for you, it's usually based on when you want to wake up. But set the number and then like commit to it, right? So I go to bed at 8 and wake up at 4. And that's a schedule that really kind of emerged like from writing the book and just needing 2 hours to write every morning and then time after school to write. Um, and it's not really something I see a lot of people talk about. But it just like skyrocketed productivity. I mean, like, I wouldn't be doing this, right? Like, if I just was scrambling for time. But it gives you like a solid 2 hour. If for me, right, it's 2 hours because like school and stuff. Um, but you just like every single day you'll have this extra 2 hours, or how whatever you do, right? And then it just compounds like the amount of things you can do with just this disciplined time to do whatever you want. Um, but I get waking up at 4 can be kind of like a little it's a big step for some people. So like my number one recommendation is to just take whenever you usually go to sleep right now, assuming that you're getting the sleep that you want. If you're not, obviously, maybe the goal is to just take when you normally wake up and like actually set a bedtime for a week. But maybe just work down, right? Maybe get up 15 minutes earlier, go to bed 15 minutes earlier. And all of a sudden, you're going to have a much more productive 15 minutes in the morning to do whatever your number one thing is, whatever you're most passionate about at that point in your life. So, really, just by like shifting a little bit at the end of your day, you're creating time to really pursue whatever you're passionate about in the beginning of the day. Um, and then gradually increase it another 15 minutes, maybe you get to an hour. And it's just based on what you're working on and how far you really want to get through with it. I think getting up before a lot of people, or starting to get work done before a lot of people wake up, is one way to really boost your productivity and like your ego, like, oh, I'm getting this stuff going. And it also helps you focus. If you need to stay laser focused and not worry about anything else, then you can do it. And by getting up early, it helps you with that. So number one thing is to get up earlier. And then obviously, make your bed and stuff. If you haven't seen the video on here about making your bed, please do it. Because at a hotel the other day made the bed because it's your first win of the day. So besides that, what else can we do? One thing that I do a lot is read. I think reading is super cool, and it can help you learn a lot about your perspective field, about yourself, about your growth. And it just, you can view your whole life through an entirely different lens of another person through their book, which can be like a physical manifestation of their whole life, which is super cool. I used to hate reading, but my friend kind of like showed it to me as like a whole new way to view your life and bring a whole new perspective into it. And that was 2 years ago, and it's just skyrocketed since then. So it's been really cool to start going into that. So read, right? So if you're at work or if you're at school, then every time you get a break, every time you go to the bathroom, something like that. At my school, 7 classes, and like 5 minutes in between class. You can easily pull out 30 minutes, 45 minutes if you really try to just read, or look at stocks, whatever it is you're passionate about. I use it to read now. I used to use it for stocks all the time. Um, just while getting water and going to the bathroom and stuff, and that's solid time to read. And then if you find downtime in the middle of the day, just pull a book, get through a page of it. And you'll start working through literature a lot faster, and you'll see yourself growing because you're getting the information from it. You got a good handle on what's going on because you're just making this time essentially to read. It's really about like making time when there might not be that time for other people. So bringing it to another level of time management. I feel like time management is something it takes a long time to develop good skills in. Um, if you haven't seen that video on why you need a minimum wage job, I think that's a really good way to start. Um, but additionally, pushing yourself with reading, um, and strict bedtime, stuff like that, so that you can get that productive work done in the morning, is really, really important. So, besides filling your extra time, maybe from walking to your car to work, or walking, to facility, just spending that time reading, because like you can walk and read at the same time. Another really cool thing you can do is like educational podcasts, right? So if you're, whatever field you're in, find some really cool podcasts in that field. And just download them and listen to them on the way to work or on the way to school, whatever, right? Um, because that's like, it just depends on how long your commute is. But if you have any commute, you're gonna be, rather than like listening to music, you can really like learn about things, grow your life, reflect on things. Excuse me. And you know, you're just making that time more and more productive. And then podcasts are also great for like downtime, or like the same as audiobooks too. Um, I don't know. I prefer podcasts and just physical reading, or just reading ebooks or whatever. But it works really well because you're taking time that would otherwise just kind of be like, you know, this is just time that's got to get done too. This is time I'm going to proactively get things done. And I think that's a really big part of getting the most out of your day, is being proactive instead of reactive. And really like scheduling. It doesn't have to be scheduling, but like knowing what you want to get done, and then getting it done. So, you know, for some people, like maybe set 3 things you want to do for a day, and do the 3 things. And if you can get those 3 things done, then you're just gonna feel you're gonna feel killer because it's a results driven process, and you're proactively doing it. Um, you know, I read this one book, and I think it really helped with my time management and also scheduling, like planning what I want for every day, and then reflecting on it and setting aside time for family, and then like understanding the separations and focusing on business. It's called the perfect work secret. The secret day formula by Chris Ballantyne. and I don't have it on me because I gave it to one of my teachers to read. Um, but the perfect day formula really went through like how to like discipline budget your time so that it uses like I wouldn't really say an artist formula. It's more like you know here's how you can block out time to work on what matters, and then it goes through like how to stay disciplined, how to plan for it, and how to really get the most out of each day, and then do so consistently, right? So that you can have a perfect day every day, and then that leads to like a perfect month, a perfect year, perfect life. So it was really cool to see like that unique perspective on it, and it talks a lot about family and balance, and I think that's very important, and that's something you'll get through experience. So I'd recommend that. I'll put a link down below just to help you guys out. I think that was a really, really good book. Um, so what's my last tip for the day? So I get to school, I think lunch is a really good time. Like whenever you're eating a meal, just to read or maybe get business stuff done. So if you need to call someone, if you need to schedule a meeting, and you don't have like an assistant, um, and you're just eating lunch, just like having physical meeting with somebody. I have meetings with people all the time while eating lunch. I mean, it's just you never waste a lunch. You're always getting stuff done, and it's like just doubling your productivity in that time period. Excuse me. Um, or working on something, whatever. Same thing with breakfast. I usually read at breakfast. But you're present at dinner with family, so that's good. That's good. Um, but that's just how it comes out. I think is always like finding the time to get what needs to get done. Um, and then planning, for the future. Like obviously you have to get some stuff done for work, but taking care of it as quick as possible so that you can move on to what you're really passionate about, and just hit that hard. So yeah, recommend it. Read good stuff. Good stuff. Perfect day formula. Have a good one, guys. Thanks.